up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music. Thanks for hanging out for another cool countdown. Also got a Spotify playlist for you to check out in that first comment. There's no denying that good music is a team effort. And while us guitar players may want to take all the glory for ourselves, there are still other musicians we rely on for maximum rockitude. One of those musicians is, of course, the drummer. I would argue a solid drum groove is the wind in the sails of a good rock song. So join me while I count down some of the greatest drummers in the history of music. 1, 2, 3, 4. Steve Gadd. This incredible drummer may be the most prolific performer you've never heard of. Unless you have a knowledge of notable session drummers, Gadd has played on everything from the disco hit The Hustle to Paul Simon's 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. Throughout his career, he's established himself as the master groove maker. Pete Fairclough once said of Steve Gadd, he doesn't play a groove, he digs a trench. Bernard Purdie. Speaking of legendary groove drummers, Bernard Purdie is definitely one of the grooviest. Not every drummer has their own shuffle. It'd be easy to list off every funk, soul, R&B, and jazz artist that Purdie has played with, but I don't think we have enough time. One of his frequent collaborators, the late Walter Becker of Steely Dan, once said that Purdie always had some unique stylistic thing that you would never imagine in advance and that nobody else would do. Buddy Rich. It's probably safe to say that Buddy Rich is the greatest big band drummer of all time. Rich's performances on a bad day still make Travis Barker look like Ringo Starr, but his unrivaled speed and awe-inspiring technique isn't all that secures him on a spot on our list. He was also the first drummer many British drum legends, including Bill Ward, Phil Collins, and John Bonham, had ever heard. So basically, all of modern drumming owes a huge debt of gratitude to this drumming legend. Mitch Mitchell. This incredible drummer rose to prominence through his work with the incomparable Jimi Hendrix. Many other famous drummers note how lyrical his playing is and how his grooves and his fills did so much more than just mark time. This skill also acted as the perfect counterpoint to Jimmy's playing. Clyde Stubblefield. Stubblefield is undoubtedly the king of funk drumming. He most notably provided the, let's say, traditional rhythm section for James Brown and his band, and is one of the most sampled drummers of all time. The work Stubblefield did with his jazz-infused left hand made him a staple of the genre, and drummers have been attempting to emulate him since the release of Cold Sweat. Ginger Baker. By combining his jazz training with wild polyrhythmic power, Baker adds unparalleled energy to any group he's in, most notably the supergroup Cream. Though infamous for his quarrelsome behavior, Baker still manages to keep himself busy by playing with jazz legends, including John Lydon, Fela Kuti, Bill Frisell, and Charlie Haden. Keith Moon. Wildman Keith Moon once described himself as the greatest Keith Moon-style drummer. Moon abhorred what he referred to as the repetition of rock drumming, which is why he commonly treated his drums like a lead instrument. Moon's signature playing style didn't just inspire drummers everywhere, it also inspired Jim Henson to create the Muppet Animal. Neil Peart. Now, it's almost cliche to go on and on about how Neil Peart's one of the greatest drummers ever, but it's not going to stop me. Like Keith Moon before him, Peart solidified the art of lead drumming. But unlike Moon, Peart's drumming is meticulous and precise, which is precisely why he's a prog rock drumming legend.
Drum roll, please.
John Bonham himself. Of course, John Bonham is at the top of this list. From the very first track of the very first Led Zeppelin album, Bonzo changed rock drumming forever. Now, as we all know, my primary instrument is the guitar, but even I listened to Good Times, Bad Times repeatedly to try and figure out if he was playing just one kick drum or two kick drums. Spoiler alert, he was playing one. Almost every rock drummer that preceded him not only tried to emulate his sound, but also his instincts. If it weren't for Bonzo, rock drumming would sound very different. Who's your all-time favorite drummer? Are you mad that Justin Bieber isn't on our list? Let us know down in the comments section. While you're down there, don't forget to subscribe and also check out that Spotify playlist. Thanks again. We'll see you later.